Hundreds of residents turned out at the Paradise Community Center ground on Saturday to capitalize on the government's part-time jobs initiative, which was extended to cater to an additional 1,000 persons in the region. Vice President Dr. Bharrat Jagdeo spearheaded another outreach to the region to meet with the latest beneficiaries. He had initially announced that 1,000 jobs would be made available in the region. However, due to an overwhelming number of applications, the decision was taken to provide more jobs. Dr. Jagdeo told Paradise residents that this is another demonstration of the PPPC government's commitment to creating employment and supplementing household income in light of the rising cost of living. He also provided clarity on the part-time jobs program.
We have to now create some part-time jobs. And let me make it clear, these are not temporary jobs. These are part-time jobs. Because when I went to Linden the first time, and I told the community there that we'll do 1,000 jobs in the community, APNU said it will never happen, a fake promise. When it did happen, they then said, oh, we don't want temporary jobs, we want full-time jobs. Now, you know what happened, and that is why you probably have heard me being very critical of them. So I said, you don't want part-time jobs. It's not temporary. First of all, these are not temporary jobs. It's not like a job that you have now and it goes to the end of the year. So it continues next year and the following year throughout. So temporary jobs are defined for a period. There is no end period to your contract here. So you'll keep working. It goes from year to year, etc. So it's not temporary. It's part-time. And secondly, I said to them, how many jobs in 5 years did you create in Linden? And Linden is your stronghold. When I was president, we built a call center there that was functional until 2015. And when APNU came, 3 weeks after they came in, 88 persons were employed there. 3 weeks after they came in office, the call center was shut down. 88 persons lost their jobs. So I said, how many full-time jobs did you create? You don't want 1,000 part-time jobs, but you didn't create any full-time job. We're now back in Linden. We're rebuilding another call center that 250 persons would be employed there. Outside of this part-time scheme where about 1,000 people will be employed. So when they came back, if you look at the program with the leader of the opposition, and they have an MP called Mahi Paul, they then went on TV and asked what are the qualifications of these people who we're giving the part-time jobs to. And we said, no qualification, they're Guyanese, and that's good enough for us. That's all that you need to be on this program. But then next, they said, oh, we're giving too much money, $40,000 for 10 days work, and the public servants are making $70,000 the whole month. But it's not totally true, because when you look at the other benefits and you take out the Saturdays and Sundays, it works out practically around the same or a little lower. But they don't, all negatives about this program. But I don't care too much about the negatives because we have a job to do. And we're going to pursue it with vigor and with the intent that we came into office to do that, to see our people get employed.
The Vice President updated the residents on the government's plan that will see the shifting of opportunities to the Berbice River area.
So we came up with a program in the budget that we passed. We said if you invest in these regions 5, 2, 10, region 10, and then Berbice, we will co-invest with you. Because the investor now want to go to Georgetown or Region 3. Most of them want to go there because it's close to big demand. So how we can help you to invest and create jobs in these areas? So right now, if anyone wants to build a factory or a call center here, like we're now building one in Essequibo Coast, and I told you about Linden, we will build the factory shell and then have the people operate the factory. So then they can create the jobs. And in this region too, that is a business. So if you know anyone who wants to do, or they can apply to the government and then we will co-invest with them. That's one way of getting more investments into the region and have a diversification of the job market away from agriculture, because ICT is a good industry. Information communication technology is good industry to occupy a lot of young people who may not want to go into agriculture. Now we have been incentivizing people to lay fiber optic cables across the country, to bring in greater capacity and to lay them across. So that means greater bandwidth and also high-speed internet for communities in the area. Because if you're going to run a program like that, you need quality infrastructure on the ICT side. So we are working on getting that going. Now, in the long run, in a near term, we're also looking at how we can shift some of the hive of activities that's taking place around the mouth of the Demerara River in regions 3 and 4 into Berbice, into the Berbice River.
Dr. Jagdeo said the administration will manage the funds from the oil and gas industry in a prudent manner and called on the young people to take advantage of the training opportunities being provided.
We have to be very, very careful. And I hope that as young people, you can lead in that direction too. Don't get caught up in a mindset, a victim's mindset. You can change this country, you can change everything. People who get caught up in victim's mindset, they don't do anything. They accept their fate. That's what I keep saying. Don't let anybody tell you can't do anything. You see an opportunity, explore it. Don't let somebody tell you, oh, don't go there, you're not gonna get it. You try it. Make sure, because had a lot of people listen and not apply for the scholarships, many of them wouldn't have been on now. So you apply for everything that you find available, make a try, because that's what we're about. So I hope that all of you will help that, but also help to change the mindset of the future and for your own selves.
The Vice President also addressed several concerns raised by residents.
I would have sit there and listened to you. I heard you spoke about the scholarship. And you said that anyone who really wants to learn can apply. But I can say in 2020, I have a young son. He would have applied twice for the scholarship online. And all he was told, I'm going to get back to you in a week's time. That never happened.
What I can do is to have Professor Opede and the team from the Gold Program come out here, because he had to start this from scratch. He went around universities around the world to arrange this. So in the first year, they had maybe about 14,000 applications, the first year, of which they selected 6,000 of the best applicants. And now this year, it's another 5,000 that will go. But I've changed now the terms of reference for the committee. The president has discussed this with them. So it's not 20,000 anymore. We were aiming for 20,000 as we promised. So now that we have lifted that barrier that they have, they can now recruit more people. So in the first year, yes, it was very, very competitive. And they were aiming for about 6,000. So I'm sure he'll get on. He'll get on. And I can give me the name and his number, but what will be even better is if Professor Opede comes to the community with his staff, and then he could explain to people and leave some of the forms. Some of them may not be able to get into the scholarship program right away. They have to go through the remedial program, which we just launched. So it would be better. I can arrange this maybe I wonder if he has done so at the New Amsterdam, the Technical Institute. So we can arrange this, I give you a day, and then let them notify the others that they can go to the New Amsterdam area, or maybe just here. Well, it might be better than the Technical Institute to do it at the Technical Institute. Okay? So, but give the name and number so we can call you and follow up on it.
With the cash grant, I've learned, and I said learned, because I didn't hear it from the relevant people. It's rumor that the 5 to 12 category, if the children does not receive the vaccine, they would not be.
Utter unadulterated nonsense. That's a rumor mill thing. Vaccines have nothing. The children vaccine is voluntary. Nobody not forcing anyone to take none of our children to take the vaccine. It's up to the parents. It's up to the parents. You want to get your child vaccinated, you go. You don't want to, they can still access school. No discrimination whatsoever. And it's not linked whatsoever, not in the tiniest way to the cash grant. That's rumor. We hear a lot of this nonsense.
I have a problem where I apply at MMA for some land since 2013. And I do all the documents, I have all my documents, and up to now I don't have a call to know what's going on with this land.
You should give your name and number, but we have a ton of problems at MMA. So we had people who have applied before, who it wasn't perfect. But then you had the 5 years of APNU, and 2 of the chairmen of the MMA that they put there, both of those one got 10,000 acres of land, the chairman. One, they took, and another one, I think maybe about 400, 500 acres for himself. So the people they put to chair MMA got a ton of land, and they took people's land, they didn't address a lot of the issues. So what we have to do, it's a mess, it's a mess. People have complained all the time, some lands were taken back and given to friends and all of that. So we'll check your case, right? I'll check your case, your name and number. The staff will check it.
Meanwhile, several residents commended the government for the part-time jobs. Here's what they had to say.
I think it's good because, as the Vice President said, that you're only working 10 days, so you have other days to continue studies or to apply to study. Yes, I have been thinking to apply, but before that, I wanted to go into the working sector first to gain experience because I'm kind of like deciding between majors and so on. But this working thing that I have now will help me a lot in deciding more and to further continue with my studies.
I think it would be beneficial to a lot of us, not only me, because I am a single mother and it would also benefit me and others out there that are single mothers. I would say they are not that mentally competent to understand what he's saying, but from my perspective is that it would benefit a lot of us, right? Not only because you're not qualified to an extent, but it would also benefit us on a lot of things, because some of us are single parents, some of us not working a 24-hour job or a 8-hour job or getting a monthly income, but it would benefit most of us.
I think it's very good because as a single mother with no income, it will be very good and it will help me in order for me to help my child.
As for me, I'm glad I get something to do because I'm not doing nothing. I'm single parents. I'm not really doing anything. I see at least everybody in need of work. Everybody needs to do something. That's it. They don't mind do anything.